Sapiens, the name for you, myself, and every human being that exists on this planet. We evolved from Africa about 200,000 years ago and carried on evolving until we became what we are today. But are we still evolving? Well, the Earth is predicted to be around about 4.55 billion years old.
Okay, let's just stop it there. This is about science's input in humanity to make people transhumanism. Okay, in other words, it's not natural evolution; it's enforced evolution by scientists. Okay, the scientists are working feverishly to transmutate humanity, while humanity is just going along, grazing at the supermarkets, and their genetics are being changed silently, even overhead with the chemtrails and different things that we are exposed to.
So in the grand scale of things, our species is still very young. Other human-like creatures were around long before us.
By the way, the guy that's actually reading this transcript out sounds around about 20 years old. Now, if the universe is several billion years old, then how can he claim that his wisdom is anything? You know, it's just a wild guess. All this is what he's saying is just guesswork. There's no evidence of species transmutating. But scientists, if they actually intervene in the genomes of plants and animals and human beings, then yes, they will mutate into different new species, which God says in Leviticus He is opposed to doing this. Okay, you're not supposed to cross the seed. You're not supposed to make different mutations like this. Okay, this is satanic. But they're not telling you this, of course. They're just doing this in the name of science. And science is the new clergy, if you like. Science is the new clergy, where it's good to be into science, but if you're into religion, you're rather boring. But actually, they're using religious concepts in science. I'll break that down a little bit more as this video goes on.
The oldest humanoid fossil was dated back to 4.4 million years ago. But because we as a race have developed this modern world of technology, ultimately to make our lives easier,
Okay, well that's an assumption. Obviously we have developed some of it, but most of it has been back engineered by Nephilim, which are previous transmutations from fallen angels who have actually been involved with genetically modifying the human race in the past. Okay, and this is what Hitler was very much involved in. This is what all his scientists, von Braun and all that, were involved in, making a super race. Okay, this is Nazism. This is not the cutting edge of Nazism that this guy is speaking about.
Stopped us from evolving further. Evolution is when genetic changes or adaptations occur when genes mutate and combine in different ways during reproduction. This is normally to help the species survive or reproduce more effectively and happens more frequently in a population. When these changes occur, they become more common across the population, giving an advantage to survive. So if the purpose of evolution is to survive and reproduce, do we need to evolve anymore? Are we above natural selection? Well, human beings still have many reasons to evolve. Some of these might be the ability to be immune to certain modern viruses, or the ability to be immune to high cholesterol or heart disease. Our lives are constantly changing, and our bodies will adapt to some of these changes. One great example of modern evolution.
Well, obviously, bad diet and bad education, poor education, cause disease. Also, it's written in the Bible that because of demons, they can actually influence people, and they can actually influence people to start carrying diseases as well, which of course you won't go into because he's just a scientist.
Is the ability to digest dairy. Originally, humans could only digest their mother's milk due to a gene that would eventually shut down when the child was weaned off the milk. But when we started to domesticate animals such as cows, humans evolved to have a tolerance against lactose. This is thought to have happened due to the nutrients that milk would carry, giving those humans a natural advantage to survive. It is thought that this ability was still developing as early as 3,000 years ago. So we are still evolving.
Well, what he's not telling us is all the genes, human genes even, they're actually putting into cattle these days, and they're actually doing pasteurization, which actually kills most of the vitamins from the milk as well. So that if you actually have pure milk from the cow, it's far more better for you. Yes, there is obviously bacteria in that milk, but there are far more things that are good for you in that milk, so it's not really getting into much about that.
And scientists think we are doing it faster than ever before. In the last 10,000 years, the pace of evolution has sped up 100 times. So what does this mean for the human race? Well, other than drinking milk and resisting diseases better, scientists think we are also losing our wisdom teeth, and surprisingly that our brains are getting smaller. The average volume of the human brain has decreased from 1,500 cubic centimeters to 1,350 cubic centimeters in the last 30,000 years. Scientists are not sure why our
That's rather a wild statistic. I wonder what genuine proof they have for making suggestions like that.
brains are getting smaller, although there are some theories that as we evolve, our brains are becoming more efficient. But what will we look like in the future? Well, let's start at the bottom. We have evolved over the years to have become less reliant on the need to climb and have favoured the ability to walk. So nature has been slowly shrinking our toes to the point where we can hardly hold a pen between them, let alone a branch. Some scientists believe that in the future,
that's ridiculous. Anyhow,
we will not have our little toes, as we only need to rely on our big toes for balance. Another theory is that we will be much taller. Over the last 2 centuries, the average height of a human has increased by 10 centimeters. This is due to better nutrition available to us and being able to eat regularly.
Okay, no, let's just pause it there. Now, you think that African man has had a better, like, generations, for maybe like 10 generations, has had better nutrition than the other guy? I think not. This is genetic manipulation, and if you check the book of Genesis, it says that there were giants, okay, and that in fact David actually fought a giant as well, okay, which is approaching about 9 feet tall. This guy looks about over 7, could be 7.5 feet or so, this basketball player. So it's not normal, okay? It's not a normal thing, and you can't really say that these guys have got better nutrition. That's a little bit crazy.
Because we could be taller doesn't mean that we're going to be stronger. Due to the increasing reliance on technology, our muscles don't need to be as strong as they did. So the more our machines work for us, the less we need to do, resulting in a weaker race of humans. Over thousands of years, humans have been slowly losing their hair. There are a number of different causes for this, but one of the main reasons is that human men are attracted to women with less hairy bodies, meaning that women's bodies could be a lot bolder in the future. Also, the fact that we tend to wear clothes.
So people are losing their hair because people like people with less hair? That doesn't make sense. That's not scientific reasoning, okay? That's more esoteric. So this is more becoming spiritual now. It's just not science. It's not proven, okay?
To keep ourselves warm now has meant that there is no need for a big fluffy fur coat. But I think the strangest of all the changes that might happen to our bodies is our face. Scientists predict that in a few million years, humans may have flat faces, big round eyes, and small noses.
A little bit like aliens.
But by the time all these changes have occurred, the future Homo sapiens will look back at their ancestors and think we were the weird-looking humans, just like we do to our ancestors.
Okay, well, my ancestors didn't look like that. I can tell you that for certain. I have pictures of my ancestors, and none of them look anything remotely like that. So, well, this is obviously a sketch, so this is not a real picture. But again, today's science is not real science. So let's keep that in mind.
So I think one thing that we all must remember from time to time is that we might be able to fly thousands of miles in a plane or perform extremely complicated operations, but at the end of the day, Mother Nature is still looking out for us. Mother Nature still has a part to play.
Okay, it's a very strange scientific thing to say. Mother Nature. Now, pagans and people that are into witchcraft talk about Mother Nature, not scientists, okay? So again, this is a satanic religion that's linked to today's science. It's not Christian. It's not born again Christian. It's satanic, okay? And it's not science either, okay? Where is Mother Nature exactly? I can't find her. Or maybe it's that image that the Catholics worship.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure you check out some of my other stuff. Leave a comment if you have any ideas about what we've into, or if you just want to discuss the subject. Thanks.
You can definitely say that if you are born again in Jesus Christ, you'll receive a new body at the resurrection. You'll rule and reign with Christ for 1,000 years. So that's what I put my trust in, Jesus Christ. So you can put your trust in false science if you like, just made up random false science. It's up to you. Thanks for watching.